Hi, I am Kedger on two wheels, and this will be the review of the Nexx helmet, the XR1R. So, this is my new secondary helmet. This Velcro is not from the helmet, I put it on to put the mohawk on. So, this is probably one of the best helmets in the world, and I will explain exactly why I am saying this. Here in Portugal, this helmet costs, this particular version new, will cost around 220 euros. On the US it should be, I don't know, nearly 400 bucks because you have to ship it there. But even so, it is an awesome helmet. It is the best one in terms of bang for buck. So it's a cheap helmet, but it does not have any kind of cheap feel to it. What it is a very simple helmet, very basic helmet, and a very light helmet, which is the idea. This is not the carbon one. This is a tri-composite one with carbon, Kevlar, and fiberglass. The carbon one has no fiberglass. It's all fully carbon and is stupidly light. This is just very light. So, front to back. This is not from the helmet. This is to put my GoPro on. Doesn't quite work because it's got a V in the front, but it works just enough. So, first thing, you have this vent, which is much bigger than it looks. See, my finger nearly goes in there, and it opens slightly upward. So this is a racing helmet. It's supposed to be used not like this, like I ride, but just slightly like this. Right behind it, you see the visor, which looks kind of big. See how big this is? This is by far the biggest visor I have ever seen. The hole here is just huge, and again, this is a racing helmet. You're going to ride it somewhat like this. Now, thing is, this is a huge viewport. It's so big, look, my fist can go right through it. If you open the visor, someone can punch you right through it. It's gigantic. When you're riding, you cannot see the top, so you have the feeling you don't have a helmet on because you cannot see this part. Your eyes are like this, and this is off your line of sight, so you don't have anything obstructing your upper vision. You can roll your eyes completely up, and then maybe you'll see just a tiny bit of this. This big nose guard really covers your nose. Your nose will be like in here, so it's the visor doesn't fog easily. Plus, it comes with pin lock installed. The helmet comes with its own pin lock, and this specific pin lock is the biggest pin lock in the world. It's just gigantic, and it works really nice. If you don't know what pin lock is, go Google it. It's the best anti-fog solution there is, period. And it's just ginormous, okay? It's a secondary lens, it simply prevents fogging. There's no fogging. Plus, the visor also has this little feature here, and then now it's locked. It's very locked. Then you can open it up. Actually, this darkened visor doesn't really clip very well here, but it's just this visor. Afterwards, you have these two upper vents, which when you look at them like this, they're really tiny, but they're not. When you look at them from the front, you can see they're actually quite big. You can close them like this, half open, completely open, and these vents work very well. I'll talk about ventilation a bit later. So when you're facing forwards, let's say like this or like this, the air actually bumps into this and then is sucked in. So these tiny vents, which generate little noise, actually have a very efficient shape to channel air in. Like this, the air might hit this and skip over like this, and it wouldn't go in. But since it's a racy helmet, and if you're racing, you will be on this angle to the slipstream, so the air will hit here and will be sucked into these very tiny, see, my finger barely goes in there. And then around the back you have some very discreet extractors, but they have a big hole in there. So you can see this on both sides, and you have this big extractor here also. It has several holes, so the ventilation on this one is very nice. You don't really feel the air moving through it, or rather you don't feel lots of air, but you can feel air going over the top of your head and going down here for the sides of your head and out this side. You also have a small vent here which helps suck the air in. This removes the stale air from your breath from the front of the helmet and helps this vent works well. You have the chin guard, which is non-removable, or rather you can remove it, but you have to remove a lot of stuff. It's very comfy, and you don't have ever to remove it even if you don't like vents. This is for the microphone inside the helmet. This is leather, this is leather, this is reflective tape here, here and here, so when you're wearing it, this goes like this. And if you notice, this is a hole as big as the hole in front for the visor. See? End result is you put this helmet on and this fits really snugly to your neck, so there's no air coming in from below, which helps the ventilation from the rest of the helmet and also reduces noise. So this is actually a very simple but very quiet helmet. It's not very usual. You can see the interior here. Let's turn it into the sun. Now here's the thing. The padding is your standard fluffy padding. Now I'm going to compare this to my helmet, which is the Horizon, which is what I'm wearing now. And on the Horizon, this padding is different and it is much better. This is the standard padding. This feels like a Shoei or something like that. The AGV one I have has a much better padding. It feels silky smooth. It's almost as if you'd had leather inside. It's a better padding. This is just your normal standard padding, and as you can see, it's your normal standard double D ring system. If you look at the padding carefully, see, these are the holes for the ventilation that comes from the top. This is all removable, obviously, and it comes with some little pads you can put inside to custom fit the helmet. You can see the light back there. From outside I could see it at some angle. See, look, I can see the swimming pool like this. See? So this means this goes straight out into the air, which is always good. That's my hand. I don't know if you can see this from this angle, but I can see clearly through the hole. So this is why this ventilation is so good. It's well built. It's also very well built, very stiff. And the first versions didn't even have a quick release system. You had to use a screwdriver. This one does. I'll show you how fast this is. You just pop this right out, and out the visor goes. As you can see, this is very simple to save weight. That's the idea. It's not complicated, just a piece of plastic with a hole in it, and that's it. Put in the other one, you just put it like so, and then pop. Obviously you can do this much faster, but I'm taking my time. There's no rush, and it's done. Closed. See how the pin lock follows the rubber around, so you don't actually see the pin lock when you're riding, and it's a gigantic pin lock. Now, is this better than my AGV? No, my AGV is slightly better in terms of ventilation, very slightly better in terms of ventilation. It's also slightly noisier. It has a better padding on the inside. It's more plush, more comfy. But this is a very close second, and actually I should have bought this one instead of the AGV, because this is way cheaper and it's damn nearly as good as the AGV. So this is a fantastic helmet to buy. There's basically no reason not to buy one. Oh, little detail I love. This is also reflective tape in here. They're not the prettiest helmets because some of these color schemes are a bit weak, like this one. I actually bought this one secondhand for $100. This is just my secondary helmet in case something happens to my AGV or I drop it or anything. You should always have a secondary helmet to fall back onto. And with this huge pin lock, this is probably going to be my winter helmet, because this is not going to fog over in any kind of rain, so I can keep all the visibility I need, and that's it. Features, no features. There's no internal sunglasses, there's nothing. It's just simple, light and cheerful. This is it. It's fantastic. This leather feels really nice, and it's very comfortable. It fits a neutral profiled round head. See? Hey, look, I can see the extractor here. See? Look. And on this side also, so you feel lots of air going through. I actually like the ventilation on this one. I was pretty impressed because I stopped and I was burning up because it was really hot, and as soon as I started moving I could feel the air going over the top of my head and cooling evaporating my sweat and cooling my head off. Then getting out, I could actually feel 4 spots of cold exactly on these places. I would touch the back of my head but you wouldn't see, but they exactly match these 4 places, so it's very nice. I also have that effect on the AGV obviously, but if you live in a hot place, one of these in white is going to be fantastic, and it works well. This thing, the nose guard, also works very well, and there's the other detail. You have lots of room for your chin, even though the venting doesn't go into the chin bar, see? It goes over here, and it still works well enough that your nose, which is stuck in right in here, is going to breathe in the fresh air coming from the outside, so you don't get that feeling of when you breathe out you get your own breath coming back onto your face. You don't really get that. On the AGV you don't get that, period, because you have a huge chin bar. On this one you get very little of it. Oh, this is also leather, and you have little red stitches everywhere. It's a I don't really want to. Oh, I can. It's just this part is just simply velcroed. See, it's simple as fuck. Now, problems with it: it's not perfect. Since it's made to be relatively cheap, it has a few issues. The first ones had these vents break, okay, because this plastic wasn't really up to par. And the first ones also had these rubbers corrode and fall off. Also, the visors, I'd advise you to try the visors on the shop if they fit, because I bought a black one and it didn't quite fit, so they replaced it right there. It didn't quite fit my helmet. Even though this little tab is adjustable, you should be able to remove this little thing and then move it up or down to make it better. Also, the guy I bought it from removed all this. He disassembled the helmet to clean it up from the inside in, from the outside, and he noticed that this is held on by 2 screws on each side, and one of the screws was gone, so he had to replace it. Thing is, Nexx has a great customer service, so if you have any kind of problems, they replace it, they repair it immediately, no questions asked. They work very well. Another problem I see online is that these things tend to break, because this plastic was, I don't know if they're still, but this one seems to be nice, but some of these parts are simply not very strong. It's the only things. But you don't get many of these reports, you get a few. So it might be some people that are too brute with this, might be a problem with a few units, but generally speaking, best helmet you can buy for the least amount of money in the world. Oh, ECE certified. See? 1350 grams, which is half of that in pounds, that's like 700 pounds? Around 700, no, not 700 pounds. 0.7 pounds? Yeah, I think that's it. Well, that's it. Catch you out. Oh, one last thing. They now make Iridium Visors. They only used to make these white transparent visors, which is why I did not buy it, because I need a black visor, because I'm always riding into the sun. So they started making these black visors, which I don't really like, but they are really nice, really dark. This costs like 30 bucks. It's not like AGV and Shoei where a visor costs you 100 bucks. This costs you 30 bucks. And to make matters worse, when they invented this part, they started giving off with the visors the conversion kit to make the quick release system. So if you had an old one which you needed the screw, you just bought the black visor and you get the conversion system to this. And now they're making these Iridium Visors. I bought one because I really like Iridium Visors, but I got disappointed I had to buy that one because this is definitely not dark enough. You can actually use this at night. It's just slightly dark. So I was a bit disappointed. They make this in silvery, transparent, or bluish, which looks really nice. And they also make a yellow visor if you're into that. But this is a very comfy helmet to use with sunglasses, because this is very plush and soft. You can put the glasses inside here very easily. Also, the big port helps you insert your sunglasses. So that's it. Catch you out.